Hey there, you found us. This is You're Doing Good, and I'm BJ Krintzman, and this show is devoted to featuring organizations and individuals who are doing good work in the community. And I'm really excited about our show tonight. We have with us, it's called Newton Neighbors, and how we got to Newton Neighbors was several shows ago. We had Jeff Lemberg on the show, and he was from the Newton Pantry, and he suggested to me Newton Neighbors, and I said, oh, I don't, and he said Susan Paley is the president, and I said, oh, well, I know Susan Paley. So join me in welcoming, first of all, Susan Paley from Newton Neighbors.
Thank you, BJ.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Glad to be here.
And we have just been racking our brains trying to figure out, she was on some show that I did 1,000 years ago. I can't find it in the archives. Laura Johnson archived all my shows. Hi, Laura. And did a fabulous job on that. I can't find it, but someday we'll figure it all out. Okay.
Yes.
And then next to her is Ranjani Paradise. Ranjani, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Ranjani is a founder of Newton Neighbors, and she's also a former board member, right?
Yep.
And later we're going to talk about the marathon because she's going to be running in the marathon. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We're taping this on April 15th, and the marathon is the 20th. In case you forgot.
In case you forgot. Oh, yeah. I am counting down the minutes. So.
Yes, right. I was with someone last night, or a couple of nights ago, and we were talking about the marathon, and I said, and she said she doesn't run it anymore. She said, because it just takes over your whole life. Your whole, it's what you can eat or not eat or what you can do it's not just that day, it's, the build up to it. Yeah. I give you a lot of credit. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Sounds good.
And our other guest tonight is Lakshmi Jayanthi, and welcome to you, Lakshmi.
Thank you.
And Lakshmi is a board member
That's right.
of Newton Neighbors. So we're thrilled to have you here. And by the way, it was Susan's idea to bring 2 people with her, so I just want you to know. we usually have 1 or stretch it to 2, but for you guys, we had to go to 3.
We're all neighbors. We had to bring all neighbors.
Newton Neighbors, right. Susan, I'm going to begin with you. First of all, tell Newton a little bit about yourself. I knew you when you were Vice President in charge of community relations for the Village Bank, a position you were in for 817 years, as I recall.
Let's not get too carried away.
Okay.
So for 17 years, I was Senior Vice President of Community Relations for the Village Bank. So in that position, I had the opportunity to get to know a lot of different nonprofits. I worked specifically with the nonprofit community and also with city government, connecting. I was a connector, and that's what I really loved about the job. I did retire because I guess it was about 817 years, so I did retire just about 2 years ago and made the decision that I wanted to make sure I wasn't like the retired lady just kind of sitting around. So I already served on a bunch of nonprofit boards, but that's when I became involved with Newton Neighbors at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm on about 4 different boards in the city.
Oh, tell us.
Pretty busy.
Tell us what other boards, because that's a question I was going to ask you later, but we'll do it right now. Go ahead.
So I'm on the executive board of the Newton Cultural Alliance.
Yeah.
We own and operate a wonderful, wonderful arts and culture venue in West Newton called the Allen Center for the Arts.
I did a show of the Allen Center with Kay Kahn.
Oh, wonderful.
And
wonderful.
What's her name? She's the executive director.
Adrian Hartzell.
Adrian Hartzell. They were on years ago. Yeah.
Fabulous. Fabulous. So I spend a lot of time, I've been on that board for about 15 years. I'm also on the board of the Newton Community Development Foundation. We're a private provider of affordable housing in the city of Newton. We own the Weeks House, the Warren House, the Castleman House, and Houghton Village, as well as managing a couple of other small properties. And I'm on the board of Family Access of Newton. We're a child care provider, as well as providing some mission-based services such as early literacy training, parent-child training, teaching young moms, for example, how to parent, the skills that they need that may not come naturally due to maybe cultural differences or something of that nature. And so we work a lot with young parents. And I'm also a very regular volunteer at the Newton Food Pantry. I'm on their advisory board and spend a lot of time there.
Well, thank you. You're doing good. You are doing good, and
I've
that's
never lived anywhere but Newton, so it's important to me.
It's wonderful that you're doing that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, and then we'll move on to Ranjani, and tell us a little bit about you. You live in Newton?
I live in Newton. I live in West Newton. I have lived there since, I think, 2013. I have a 12-year-old who goes to Day Middle School and a 9-year-old at Franklin Elementary, right in West Newton. My day job, I am the Director of Evaluation at the Institute for Community Health. So we're a nonprofit organization. We do public health research and program evaluation, primarily in Massachusetts, but some projects that are national. So I get to work with really, really cool programs that are doing anything in the umbrella of health and wellness and healthcare services. And then my job is to help programs figure out how to measure what they're doing and what kind of impact they're having.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the marathon. You're going to run the
Yes,
marathon.
I'm going to run
and
the marathon.
You're running for Newton
For
Neighbors.
Newton Neighbors, yes.
And Susan mentioned before the show, you have a bib that's going to tell that the official charity bib or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the City of Newton offers, I think, around 20 bibs to nonprofits in
Yeah.
the City of Newton.
Yeah.
And we were able to get one.
Fabulous. And are you going for your personal best or just?
Well, it's my personal best because it's my first marathon. So
Oh, this is your first?
Yeah.
So
Well,
whatever
let's-
I run will automatically be my personal best. So that's kind of fun.
Wow. Let's talk after you run. I want to talk and find out if you'll ever do it again. I can't. It's supposed to be very good in the 50s that day,
The
which is
weather-
like perfect
yeah. I'm
marathon.
hoping nothing changes. It looks great,
Yeah.
especially after these hot days.
That would be great.
I've run 6 half marathons, but this is my first full marathon.
Wow. Wow. Why are you doing that?
I love running. So when I'm
Oh,
not doing my job or working with Newton Neighbors or doing school stuff or
You
with my
like-
family, I'm usually running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And you're doing good. You're doing good too. Okay. And now we get to Ranjani.
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lakshmi. Tell us about you.
Yeah, I'm not a runner. So my day job is I'm an international tax lawyer for Ernst & Young. And, well, my other full-time job is that I'm a mom to 3.
Ooh.
There are 5, 3, and 1.
Whoa.
So we keep very busy all day, every day, constantly. And yeah, we just moved to Weston, so I'm part of the neighbors in Newton Neighbors. But we recently moved from Dallas to Newton about 3.5 years ago. Lived in Newton for a couple of years and just recently moved to Weston, but been involved with Newton Neighbors for the past 2.5 years. It's been a great time so far, and obviously on the board of Newton Neighbors because
Yeah.
I like it so much.
Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, so now, Newton, the moment you've been waiting for, let's talk about what Newton Neighbors is and what you do. Susan, you want to kick it off a little?
Sure. We're basically a mutual aid group. We're the connection between people who need help and people who want to give help. And that sort of goes back to the very roots of Newton Neighbors. It started just a group of four women who realized as COVID was closing all these doors, these 4 incredible women realized that there were people in their apartments or houses who needed help desperately but didn't know how to get it. And other people who were in their 4 walls who wanted to give help but didn't know who needed it. So that sprung up a Facebook group, Newton Neighbors Helping Neighbors. And we now have about 9,500 people in that Facebook group, and it still is very active, connecting people who need help to people who are able and willing to give help. But through that, it grew into something much larger. We incorporated back in 2022, Newton Neighbors, Inc., and we have first of all, we have a series of different initiatives throughout the year, reaching different segments of our community, dealing with food insecurity, dealing with
Kids' school, summer camp.
summer camp drive. I can name all the initiatives, and we will, I'm sure.
Yeah, we will. But I think it's interesting that the impetus for this was really the pandemic.
Absolutely.
Which was people need to help other people. And that was a time when I will tell you, before I became a lawyer, I went to Harvard Business School, and I was at a Harvard Business School thing, and it doesn't matter what it was, but these people were saying, oh, that they stayed home. They did this because they think they're so special that they could stay home and have all their food delivered to them and have this and that and that and this. And I said, no, it's not that you're smarter, or it's that you're lucky and you had the money to be able to make this happen. And what you did is you tried to level that playing field so that people could have services who couldn't otherwise just say, well, I'll have it delivered, I'll have Grubhub delivered to me or whoever.
Right.
I think what's incredible too is that this organization started in March of 2020, which is just when COVID was hitting, where people like me sitting at home were just freaking out about the concept of COVID, that these 4 incredible women got together and were like, actually, I'm not even freaking out. I'm thinking about other people, right, Ranjani?
Yeah, it really started because one of our other founders, Shalini Tendulkar, she posted a question on Facebook that we were just learning that schools were going to close, and we didn't know how long. At that time, we thought, oh my God, 2 weeks of school close. It sounded terrible, and we didn't realize it would be months. And she said, what's going to happen to the kids who rely on school for their free lunch? And that was it. It was just, I'm worried about this. Does anyone know? What can we do? And it got this huge response from the community. And it was really about people saying, I want to help. Right. And that just prompted her to say, wow, I think we need to create a space for this.
Right.
And like Lakshmi was saying, I think everyone felt helpless, and we didn't know what was going on and what was going to happen, but there was just this huge outpouring of people wanting to do something.
Right.
And it kind of was a way to channel that for those who were in the position to offer something. And then we didn't know what the needs were. Things would just pop up. Someone would say, I'm homebound, I'm unable to go out because I'm worried about getting sick. I need my prescription picked up, or can someone help me get some food? And then we sort of just snowballed from there.
Right.
I don't know the answer to this question. The 4 women that started it, did you guys know each other before, or you just sort of connected through this questioning on Facebook?
So I knew Shalini. She actually used to work at the organization that I still work at. So we knew each other because we were colleagues. And then Martha and Shrila, who are the other 2 in that founding group, I think only Shalini and I knew each other out of the 4. And what happened was a few of us were very active in that initial discussion, and Shalini just reached out and said, I noticed you're really active. Would you like to help me organize something here? And the 4 of us just kind of jumped on it.
So let's go through this is fabulous. We'll go through the actual services. So one is, of course, food. This is, trying to combat food insecurity. And what you do is you provide, is it transportation to the Newton Pantry, or do you pick up stuff at the Newton Pantry, or all of the above?
I'm going to let Ranjani take this, because she is very, very instrumental in this.
Right.
So we provide home deliveries from the pantries to people who can't access the pantry themselves. And one of the other important things about Newton Neighbors is we really want to fill gaps. There's great service organizations in the Newton area, and we don't want to be doing something that another organization already does. So we're trying to figure out where is there a gap, and how can we fit into that and kind of help support the other services.
Yeah.
So I think very soon after we started in 2020, maybe in April, we were realizing that there was a need for people who, at that time, part of it is people who don't have access to transportation, but also people who maybe just weren't, were immunocompromised, didn't want to go into the environment of the pantry. The pantries were trying to figure out what to do. They were switching to an outside kind of no-touch model.
What are the services now? Does someone somehow get information to you, I need the following, can you pick up apples for me, or how does it work?
So we do, what happens is a social worker or case manager, someone who is in the position to assess someone's needs. If they identify someone who can't get to the pantry but needs the food, they will refer them to us, and then we do regular food deliveries. So that means twice a month from Newton Food Pantry, or once a month from the Center Street Food Pantry. we will deliver to that client
Right.
as long as they need it.
And do they get what you have and what you want to bring them, or do they give you a request of what they need, or how?
The pantries will, they pack the food for our drivers to pick up. So
So-
it's basically a version of what someone would get if they went in themselves, but they pre-pack the bags. We have, the volunteer will come to the pantry. All they have to do is put those bags in their car and drop them off at a few people's houses.
And is there an economic threshold, a requirement, an income level you have to be below to have this service?
The only requirement is that the person can't get to the pantry themselves for whatever reason. And we really leave it to the social workers to make that determination. And if they say this person has a barrier and they can't come in, and as long as we have volunteers, we'll do the deliveries.
And these social workers, these are work for the city? Are these on payroll from the city?
Some of them for the city or through the public schools, Newton Wellesley Hospital, and there are a handful of other programs in the area that may once in a while have somebody that's in need. But most of them come through the schools or through the city.
And now if somebody says, I need a ride, I'd like to go to the pantry myself, but I need a ride, you do that? You have people who drive people or not? It doesn't work that way?
No,
Okay,
not currently.
so it's more through the social work services. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Fridge, they get deliveries from the Fridge as well? Which Newton viewers, I did a show with we talked about the Fridge, so you should know what that is.
Our connection with the Fridge, so the way the Fridge is able to work is that they get different nonprofits to help them, usually once every other week. We're, I think, the only partner that the Fridge has that is there once a week, each and every week, and we monitor the condition of the Fridge. Is it messy? Does it need a cleaning? We have drivers that will go to different restaurants, different stores, and pick up goods and stock the Fridge. So that every Thursday is Newton Neighbors Day at the Fridge.
That's fabulous. All right, and then there are other things that aren't food related. I went to your website and I was looking, it said scholarships for summer camp.
We just wrapped that up, and in fact, the money that Ranjani is running for on Monday will all go to our summer camp scholarships. So we're going to be able to provide, I think, about maybe 80 scholarships for kids that otherwise would not be able to, number one, share in the joy and the developmental aspect of summer camp. But also it gives the parents a safe place for their kids to be during the day.
Absolutely. And Lakshmi, what are you involved in? I know you're on the board, so you're figuring out what programs to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, obviously part of the governance and decision making as part of being on the board, but I get more actively involved with the school supply drive that happens in the fall, well, summer to fall time, where our team helps with collecting backpacks and water bottles, and they work with social workers who tell us how many backpacks and water bottles for kids in need who just don't have them. We also collect calculators, those high ticket items, but every kid wants to come into the first day of school with a nice fit, nice backpack, so we help out with that. So I like to get involved with that. We have a collection at Auburndale Library has been so gracious for the past couple of years in giving us a place to house that. I also get involved with the diaper drive, which I know we're going to be talking about today.
We will. But I just want to, I'm really struck about school supplies. When I think about, I'm going to start to cry, when I think about a kid who just wants to look like everybody else and have a backpack like everybody else and not look, like they're other. So this is wonderful that you do this.
And that drive, there's a lot of supplies are provided by the schools in Newton, and there are programs that can provide backpacks. And what we've heard through the input from the social workers is just that sometimes the backpacks that kids get that are donated just aren't of the same quality, or they don't look like everyone else's. They're not. They don't have the cool patterns.
Yeah.
So we really try to provide things that are really good quality. They're going to last. They're not going to fall apart.
Yeah.
But they're also just as cool as anyone else's backpack.
Yeah.
So that's to make the kids feel comfortable.
We have great volunteers who really take a lot of care in choosing. Like we have our Amazon wish list that people can choose merchandise from, and our volunteers take a lot of care in putting that stuff together.
And how do we access your Amazon wish list? How do I access it?
when the drive is taking place, is that we have, first of all, we have a monthly newsletter
Yeah.
that will be given in. It's on our Facebook page, and also through our partners in the schools help us to promote that.
Yeah, fabulous, just wonderful. And then I have that you also do emergency grants. And this I've got for past due rent, medical expenses, auto repairs.
This is a very, very busy part of who Newton Neighbors is. And again, we work very closely with social work staff, so that if they are aware of somebody who is at risk of being evicted or who desperately needs their car to get to work, we're able to bridge these. Again, it's bridging gaps, it's filling gaps that are so important.
Yeah.
Right? And that network that we have with the social workers is really key to this.
Right, and I have social workers from the Newton Public Schools, Health and Human Services, and Older Adult Services.
Older adult services
Yep.
as well. Yes?
Yep. Let me ask you something. How big is the need? Is because a lot of us think of, or let me put it this way, Newton is thought of as a very wealthy community. How big is the need?
I will tell you that the need is large and it is growing every day, particularly in the areas of food insecurity. These like none of these.
I mean, do you know how many families are at risk in Newton? Do we have those statistics or?
I
Lakshmi?
don't. I do not. know.
I don't have them off
we
the
don't
top
have
of
them.
my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the
All right.
pantries have them all.
And-
yeah.
I do want to mention Newton. It's at its core, it's Newton Neighbors helping neighbors,
Right.
and that's the mission. But it's also the idea of it's Newton. There's a lot of scarcity in Newton, but it's also the surrounding areas around Newton that we help out, and we try to help out as much as possible. And there is a lot of scarcity of food and just need around this area generally. I agree with you, BJ, in that Newton itself is seen as a more affluent area, but it is surprising how many people need help and reach out.
Right. Well, it's wonderful, and you're doing a great job because Newton Neighbors received the Newton's annual Human Rights Award last year for combating food insecurity. So congratulations to you
Thank
on
you.
that. Well done, guys. Now let's talk. We've got the annual, and as I said, we're taping this on April 15th, and we're about to launch the annual diaper drive. Tell us about the annual diaper drive. Last year, Newton Neighbors distributed 53,000 diapers. 53,000 diapers. And the distribution took place in 5 hours. So this is pretty astonishing. Tell us about how this works, when it starts, when it ends, what people can do.
Well, it's happening right now.
Oh, okay, it started
happening
already.
right now.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask Ranjani to maybe make a couple of comments because she was the one that really started this drive. What, 5? This is our 5th one or 6th one? 5th.
I don't even know.
But it
Let's say
was.
5th, yeah.
But it
Yeah.
was. This was something that Ranjani felt very strongly about, and started the process of the diaper drive that has grown tremendously. So how did you come up with the idea?
Well, I think a theme that you've already heard us talk about is we listen to people who really know, who are in touch with the community needs. So this really came through, we were having conversations with programs in the area and our social work partners and just asking, what are you seeing? What are the needs? And again, we wanted to make sure if those needs are filled already by another organization, great, we don't need to do that.
Right.
What's missing? And one thing we heard repeatedly was that diapers are such a huge expense for a family with a
tell
young
us
child.
how the drive works. How do you get diapers? How do people participate? How does it work?
So we have a few different ways that people can support donating. So you can donate we have a link on our website to donate money if someone just wants to donate. All of those funds during the period of our drive, all of that will be used to buy diapers. That we have an Amazon wish list if someone wants to just go on and pick a box that we've already kind of selected for the sizes that are most needed and everything. They can order that, it'll get shipped right to one of our team members' houses. And then the third way is if someone goes to CVS and there's a great sale on diapers, they can pick up a box and drop it off at a couple different locations around the city, and that'll all we distribute directly to families.
Where are the
in May.
locations?
Family Access of Newton,
Which is
is
where-
on Waltham Street,
Okay.
right behind the CVS,
Okay.
the old Davis School.
Yeah.
And then we have a variety of different.
Post 440 too.
I don't think you can drop off at.
Oh, sorry,
Post 440.
sorry. I thought you meant the actual distribution date.
All right. So, and the distribution takes place at post 440
And Family
And
Access.
Family Access.
and Family Access. Okay. And that distribution is taking place on
May 9th.
May 9th.
It's always the day before Mother's Day, and we make it a really joyous occasion. We give roses to each and every mom that's there.
Oh,
we
that's
have
wonderful.
we have a table with gently used toys so that they can choose some toys for their kiddos too.
It's wonderful. We're going to run the several times during this show. We'll run the website, and I think the
Thank you.
easiest way is for people to
Yeah.
go on the website, get all the information about the diaper drive, about neighbors helping, about Newton Neighbors helping neighbors, and also there are other special initiatives during the year. What have you come up with lately?
Well, as we already talked about a couple of them with the summer camp fundraising. We do the school supply drive late summer into the fall. We do a Thanksgiving drive, obviously around Thanksgiving time, where we give out gift cards to people who need them for Thanksgiving. We partner with other organizations for a holiday toy drive. And then, once again, I think the next one is diaper drive, right?
Yeah, and then
And
some
what's
years
the-
we do a bike drive.
I was just
as
going to say,
well.
what's the bike drive?
That's usually every other year or so.
And, are you collecting bikes?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it. Yeah.
We collect gently used bikes, ones that maybe are gathering dust down the basement.
Yeah.
And we have a board member who is very good at cleaning up and
great.
getting those ready for
Yeah.
new riders.
Fabulous.
So, yeah.
Fabulous. All right. So now volunteers. Newton is out there. Newton's hearing about this. And if what do you need in terms of volunteers? How do you volunteer? Is there on your website? Is it
Check our website for sure. We always need people who help with the deliveries from the food pantry. Right now, as we are getting deeper and deeper into diapers, on May 8th and May 9th, we can use some hands helping. May 8th, so right now diapers are coming in from our Amazon wish list and all being delivered to the home of the chair of our board, Jenny Klein Sosa. Her neighbors last year were wondering what is going on. Why are so many diapers arriving? But her entire garage gets filled with diapers, and we have to then move those diapers
Right.
to Post 440 and to Family Access. So we need hands that day. We need hands to distribute at Post 440 and Family Access.
Right.
And a couple of things. I mentioned this earlier. I moved from Dallas here to Newton, and I didn't know anything. We're brand new here with two small kids. And one of the first things I did is go to the Harvest Festival, which is incredible in Newton Center, and I met the people from Newton Neighbors and started hearing about it, and I signed up as a volunteer, and they send out a newsletter, which Susan mentioned, every month that tells you everything, not only what's happening with Newton Neighbors, but what's happening in Newton. And
Yeah.
that's how I started to get involved, and I think that's a great way for volunteers to get to know us and get involved, because you learn about the community, which is the biggest thing,
Yep.
and you get to participate in all the campaigns Susan's mentioning.
So
It
go
is,
to the website and sign up for our newsletter,
Yeah.
and you'll
Okay.
get all sorts of information.
And I think it a little bit echoes what you were saying earlier about how this was founded, wherever the need is. It's also wherever the need is for volunteers.
Yes.
So you'll find out on the website, and we're going to run the website, as I said. Would you believe we're out of time? This has been the whole show. This is so, you really are doing good. It's just fabulous. The job you're doing, how you're helping out, it really helps make Newton the loving and welcoming, friendly community that we want it to be. So this is just fabulous. And if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, go to the website. We're running it as we're talking.
And if you need diapers, come to Post 440.
May 9th, Post-
And no questions asked, no paperwork needed. Show up, and we will give you diapers.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you next time on You're Doing Good. Good night.
Thank you, BJ.
Thank you.
Thank you.